Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week we're installing new Shimano pedals onto the Superfly and getting them all set up with our shoes. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure that little bell icon next to that is checked off. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss this awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So right on to the video, what are we working on today? We are installing some new Shimano pedals onto the Superfly. Now what pedals do we have? These are just the basic Shimano mountain bike pedals, the PD M520s. Pretty much the basic ones you can pick up anywhere if you wanted to get started into clipless pedals. This is what most people end up with. So, as you guys know, I've been riding crank pedals for the longest time on the Superfly, as well as the road bike, and why am I changing? That's kind of the big thing here. Why am I changing? It's time to mix things up a little bit. If you watched one of our past videos, I actually swapped pedals out on my road bike. We went with a Shimano road specific pedal and cleat for those. And with that being done, why not change it up on the mountain bike too? And we'll go Shimano on the mountain bike and give those a shot. One of the main reasons I stuck with crank pedals for so long is because I could run the crank pedal candies on the mountain bike and I could run the egg beaters on the road bike. And I kind of have two different focuses on both bikes while also running the exact same cleat and same setup on both. So it worked really good when I'm only running one pair of shoes and I can switch back and forth and no big deal at all. However, I don't need to worry about that anymore, so we're going to try something a little bit different. So of course we're going to get these new Shimano pedals installed on my bike real quick, then we'll come back here and we'll get these cleats all set up and get them set for the bike. But before we get into the install portion of this video, I'll bring it up a little closer, we'll take a look at how the Shimano mountain bike pedals actually work. So Shimano mountain bike pedals, biggest thing with them that differentiates them between a road bike pedal is two-sided entry. So pretty much any mountain bike pedal you find, it's at least going to have 2 points of entry, two-sided entry onto them. It makes it a lot easier on the trail, just be able to stick your foot down, not have to worry about trying to flip your pedal over or anything like that. Just be able to put it down. Generally you'll be able to find your clips at your clip-in spot either side you're on. Makes it a little bit easier. The other thing I found in my riding conditions is one side of this sometimes gets packed full of mud. So then you still have another side that's still going to be clean until I clip in. So kind of the nice things on there. That's going to be one of the main things that sets apart a mountain bike pedal from a road bike pedal. So as you can tell on this guy, it has pretty much a claw system on this side and a claw system here. Now, I said these are ones that pretty much anybody who's starting riding clipless pedals is going to pick up. And why is that? One of the biggest reasons is this adjustable tension right here. These ones have adjustable tension. You pretty much tighten the screw in and out. That will adjust how much tension is actually on your cleat when you're clipped in, therefore making it harder to unclip or easier to unclip as you begin to ride. And the nice thing about this, we've got two sides on here so you can make that adjustment all the way around or make multiple adjustments and you can kind of figure out what works for you. These are also very nice. They come with these slots here for a pedal wrench, or you can use an Allen key. So you have both options when you're out there on the trail or out working in your garage. You can make them work. So those are your pedals right there. Now let's talk about cleats a little bit. So cleats for Shimano, there are actually two different styles of cleats that will go with the Shimano mountain bike pedals. Number one is going to be the ones that come with it, and they're going to be these. These are the SM SH51s. These are the ones that are going to come with any set of Shimano pedals you get. They're going to come with this standard one. Now, these ones are black. Keep that in mind, these ones are a black cleat. So the deal with this one has a single release. So what you just have to twist your foot off to the side with your heel and it will unclip your pedal. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. That's how most clipless pedals work. That's how this one is the deal. This one's gonna come with any set of pedals you have. You're gonna get this one. The other option that they have is going to be this one right here. This one is the SM SH56. And you might notice this one's silver. So you notice silver and black. Keep that in mind. The silver cleat, this one is called their multi-release. So this one, as you can see, you might be able to see, it has a little M printed down there. This one allows you to not only clip out by twisting your foot to the side, it also allows you to either lift your foot up, clip your foot up to the side, it gives you a little more ease of clipping out of your bike and not being stuck in there. If you're looking for a very beginner setup for clipless pedals, these pedals right here, these basic Shimano mountain bike pedals, and then the SH56 are going to be your best set. Those are going to be the nicest way to learn how to ride clipless pedals. That's one of the ways I learned myself, was just using this setup here. It makes it easy. You don't have to worry about falling down. It makes it very easy to clip in and out, and ultimately works very good setup, very beginner friendly. Now as we're setting up mine today, we're going to use just the standard black cleat, the one that comes with the pedals. We're going to use this one and give it a shot. As far as I remember, last time I rode these Shimano pedals, I rode the silver cleat, and that was because I was still kind of learning on them and I was getting used to the feeling of them. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with going with this, but we're going to go with just the standard black cleat today, the SH51. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because when you see them in the packaging at the store, and you look to go buy cleats, all you're going to see in there, from the last time I remember, you will see them facing just like this. One will be silver, one will be black. the differences between these are very, very small. They look exactly the same when you're staring at them, except for a few minor differences. And I'll try and catch those differences here on camera. But the main differences are, if you look at your standard cleat that comes with the pedal, all of the edges where your cleat is actually going to contact into the pedal are pretty much squared off. And the reason for that is it's going to provide a better latch, is essentially what that's going to do. So every edge that they contact is going to be completely squared off. Now, if you look at the multi-release one here, the edges on there, those same ones that were squared off on here, are actually a little bit more rounded on here. That allows a lot more motion in your foot and allows you to clip out easier than with your standard cleat here. So I'll try and catch those on camera for you, that way you guys can see the little bit differences, because the last time I bought cleats for these, that's what I remember, is the boxes look exactly the same, and it's hard to tell the difference without actually knowing them. So hopefully that kind of explains the difference between those. But today we're gonna be installing just the standard black ones onto our shoes. So let's go ahead and move over to the bike, pop our old crank rollers off, and we'll throw on our new Shimano pedals on there, and then we'll get to installing our cleats. All right, so I already cracked our pedals on the bike loose already, so that way you can just easily twist these guys off. The old crank rollers used a, I believe it was an 8mm Allen key on them, so we can get these guys off. And again, like I said, there was nothing wrong with those crank rollers pedals. I liked them, I still like them. May go back to them eventually, but for now, I want to try something a little bit different. Got those all cleaned up, and then we'll grab our new Shimano pedals here. And again, Shimano makes it very easy for you. They label these. One has an L on the wrench flat right there for left side of the bike, not the right side. Make sure you get them right. Perfect, there's one, and we'll grab the other one, which again has a R on it for right side. Cool, and once you have them pretty tight, just grab your pedal wrench and we'll just tighten them down the rest of the way. And there we go. So I'll get this on the ground, tighten these up, and we'll start working on our cleats. This pedal's installed on the bike. Those are set to go. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna throw these silver ones off to the side, and we'll take a look at our shoes. So of course I've been running crank rollers on these, so currently these have crank roller cleats on them. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take off our crank roller cleats first, which they should be a 4mm, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. All right, we'll go ahead and pop our old cleats off of these, and we'll just go ahead and start with one shoe. Then we do one at a time. As you can tell, if you watch my road bike video installing cleats on there, mountain bike cleats are going to use the two-hole design here. So the two-hole design, which are going to be two bolts right next to each other, just like that. As you can tell, this has 4 holes. That's so you can mount them either farther forward or farther back. That way you have a lot more positioning on where you want to put them versus just one set of holes. So that's the big deal with those. So when you go to get your new cleats set up on your shoes, once you know that they have the correct bolt pattern here, you're gonna go ahead and put a piece of tape on the side of your shoe. And you might be wondering, what's the point of that? Why are you putting a piece of tape on the side of my shoe? You're gonna put that piece of tape there, stick your foot in your shoe, get the shoe tightened up where it needs to be, and you're gonna mark on that piece of tape where the ball of your foot is. That's gonna help get your position started in the right way towards being in the position for optimum power transfer. So you want to make sure you do that. In my case, I've had these set up for a long time, so I actually know where my cleat is going to be. So in my case, stuck 2 pieces of tape down here and marked the angle and everything where the cleat was. That way, it's in the same position. That way, it's in roughly the same position. I can kind of get started off of that point. So we got those installed there. So for Shimano's, so I don't believe, let's see, I don't think there's a left and a right on these. I think they're the same either way. Yep, all right, same way either way. So these guys, they're pretty much going to go mount just like that. Pretty simple process. So what you want to do, make sure you have all your hardware. So you should have a cleat, you should have a washer for each of them, and what you want to do is make sure that these spots that are curved down, you'll see the little indent on them, that is facing up. That way when you get your screws, which are countersunk, they can go into that slot right there and sit nice and flush on the bottom of your foot. So you need to make sure you do that when you put that on. So we'll go ahead, we'll get that washer in there, we'll get our first screw started right there. I use the ball end of my Allen key, and again, like I've said before, some people use grease, some people use Loctite, whatever on these. There have been very few times I've had problems with these, and I just put them in just normal, and I've never had a problem. So that's what we're gonna do in this case as well. Just put them in just normal, and that should be fine. So there we are. All right, and then for me, I'm going to line mine up with my marks, but if you've never set them up before and you have that piece of tape, you're going to line that up center of your cleat to the center of that mark. And that's going to get it right on the ball of your foot to start off with. So let's get this kind of lined up here. That looks pretty good to me. So once you get it all set up, ready to go, you're just going to go ahead and tighten them. Make sure you tighten them relatively evenly too. Otherwise, you might get some weird facing cleats. So make sure you kind of tighten them down relatively evenly. Go ahead and just kind of tighten them. I just kind of go back and forth between them. And you don't want to just yeet these things on. You don't want to strip out the threads in your shoes or break one of these bolts or anything. But you want to make sure it's nice and snug on there. There we go. So we got our cleat installed. Go ahead and pop our tape off so you guys can kind of see our finished product. And there we go. Got the cleat installed on one of our shoes. You just do the same process for the other. There are a couple things you want to look at once you finish installing this. You want to make sure that your cleat is actually contacting the shoe. If your cleat's not contacting the shoe around here, you got a problem. You got to make sure your cleat is contacting it all the way. If it's not contacting it all the way, it's not tight, or something is off, wonky, and not going to work properly. So make sure your cleat is touching the shoe all the way around on the base of that cleat. Make sure that it's touching there. Second thing you want to make sure is nothing is in the way of where it's going to clip into the pedal. If something's in the way, that's not going to be good either. So make sure that nothing is in the way. Make sure that none of the lugs are in the way or any of that, but that should be pretty good. Let's get the other one done and we'll show you how it works on the bike. Okay, so over at the bike, so we have these installed here. Very simple process to clip in with these. So essentially the very tip of your cleat right there is going to clip in. You're going to go ahead and pretty much nosedive it into the pedal right in this little groove here right on the front. So you're going to nosedive in right there, and you're going to push down at the back of your foot. It's going to pretty much push this back a little bit so your foot can clip in all the way, and that's going to lock in place like so. Let me go ahead and try and get one clipped in. So we'll go ahead and place that guy right there and see if we can get it to clip. There we go. All right, just like that. So as you can tell, it is clipped in. And you can see it does have a little bit of play in there, a little bit of float, which is good. You kind of want a little bit of float on a mountain bike generally. It helps you maneuver around and go around different obstacles and everything like that, and helps you get moving a little bit more. So I like a little bit of float in there, so that is good. We're not contacting our pedal directly, which is awesome. I like that. And that is pretty much it. So that is pretty much how you get that all clipped in. From there, to get unclipped, all you have to do is go ahead and move your heel to the outside, like that, and you hear it unclip, and we are unclipped from our bike. That is a nice simple process to get clipped in and unclipped from our new Shimano pedals. And that's going to be it for today's video. We got our Shimano pedals all installed on the Superfly, ready for the riding season. Again, it is so cold here in Nevada. It just snowed. It's going to snow again, so it is still cold here. So we got those installed, ready to go. If you are interested in any of the products talked about in this video, there's going to be a link in the description down below to all of them. That way you guys can check them out for yourselves. What do you guys think? Did you like the Crank Brothers better, or did you like these new Shimanos better? I'm looking forward to trying out Shimanos out again, seeing how they work for this riding season, and I mean, worst case, we'll swap them back to Crank Brothers, but I'm excited to try something new that has been a long time since I've tried. So if you did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.